What's up, freaks and geeks? It's Aedifex, and welcome to the new and improved OCD Dex challenge video. The OCD Dex challenge is a Pokemon challenge that I made around a year ago that involves catching every possible obtainable Pokemon. Sounds pretty straightforward, right? Well, for the most part it is, but there's a few rules to keep in mind for the challenge as well. First off, all Pokemon you catch for the OCD Dex should have your original trainer name registered. The only exceptions are event Pokemon and regional variants like Vivillon, and we can safely assume at this point Alcremie. You'll need to trade to get these. You'll need to complete trade evolutions with yourself or do touch trades with a friend so your Pokemon still have your original trainer name. Event Pokemon are not required for the challenge, but keep in mind that there are some Pokemon that can only be obtained through events, such as Volcanion or Hoopa. And lastly, all Pokemon must be caught in their native regions. This is probably what makes this challenge so difficult. They don't need to come from a specific game, as long as they are from the region they were released in. So you could do Virtual Console Gold, Silver, or Crystal, or you could do Heart Gold and Soul Silver. There is one major exception to this rule, and that the shinies for the challenge can be from any region. So how many obtainable Pokemon are there then? At the time of recording, without including the 4 billion forms of Spinda, because ain't nobody got time for that.
Ain't nobody got time for that!
The OCD Dex count sits at 2,269.
Nice.
Obviously, this number will change with the release of Sword and Shield, but I'll make a short update video when that comes out. Let's break down where this number comes from. A living Pokédex would include all 809 Pokemon, and a shiny living dex would add another 789 to the count, leaving out the 20 currently shiny locked Pokemon. To most people, that would be every Pokemon, but just doing this leaves a lot of Pokemon still uncaught. Many Pokemon have different forms, some are different colors, some have different evolutions of the same name, and some even different depending on if they're male or female. So then, just how many Pokemon are there, and can you really catch them all? That's the goal of the OCD Dex, to take the famous catchphrase of the series and take it to the extreme.
These go to 11.
There's a link in the description down below that'll give you a layout of the OCD Dex so you can see a full list of all the Pokemon we're about to go over, so that this video isn't an hour long. There are 3 groups within the OCD Dex: the Living Dex, Alternate Forms, and Gender Variants. Each of these is then split into regular and shiny. Pretty straightforward. Living Dex is exactly what it sounds like, and what we talked about earlier. One of each of the 809 current Pokemon, and shiny of each that isn't locked. Alternate Forms are Pokemon within the same species that take on different forms for various reasons. We'll only be catching the alternate forms that do not change outside of battle, or ones put in a box. So Pokemon like Castform who change form in battle, but reverts back to normal once stored, won't count. In the original version of the challenge, we included Mega Evolutions, but since then, they've been removed since they are a form that only exists in battle. The Pokemon that change forms in battle, or revert back once stored, will be considered caught in the Living Dex group since they change back once stored. There are 146 different alternate forms and 129 shinies for this group. Gender variants weren't introduced into the main games until Generation 4. While we did have the Nidorans in the very first games, they're considered different Pokemon with different numbers, so they won't be in this group. There are currently 99 pairs of Pokemon whose appearance differs depending on if they're male or female. Some are very subtle, while others are much more obvious. 99 pairs means there's a total of 198 gender variants and 198 shinies. This is the only group that doesn't have any shiny locked Pokemon. So let's add all the groups together. 1,598 in the Living Dex group, 275 in the Alternate Forms group, and 396 in the Gender Variants group. That gets us our 2,269.
Nice.
That is a lot of Pokemon, but just remember that the OCD Dex is still less than 1% of the total Spinda forms. So are you ready to take the OCD Dex challenge? It won't be easy, but fully completing it will make you the true Pokemon master you've dreamed of ever since you played that first game. Now, if you're new here, know that I'm not just giving the Pokemon community a ridiculous challenge and sitting back and watching everyone struggle through it. I'm taking the challenge on myself, and I've been streaming the OCD Dex for about a year now. Everything that goes into my collection, other than my event mythicals, have to be caught on screen, either streamed or recorded to count towards the challenge. In a world where it's easy to say you've caught all the Pokemon but could easily hack them in or have someone make them for you, I wanted to do it all live. I've had a lot of fun with the challenge so far, and at the time of recording my OCD Dex count is at 550, and now I'm working on grinding out all the non-shinies before Sword and Shield come out in roughly 8 weeks, so I've got 2 weeks per generation to finish on time. Thanks for checking out that new and improved OCD Dex challenge video, and I hope you like the idea of the challenge. If you do take the challenge, I would love to see your progress. There's lots of ways to reach out to me, but the easiest would be our new community Discord. We have a section completely dedicated to the OCD Dex challenge. Even if you don't take the challenge yourself, show some love on that like button below for all the work that went into this project, subscribe if you guys are new, and come hang out on Twitch as I try to catch them all. I post weekly stream schedules on all my social media pages linked below, and I'd love to see you all there. Until next time, I'm Aedifex, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!